Hey everybody, I'm Jack Reeder with Future Pastimes. I'm one of the designers for the expansions to the 2019 edition of the classic Dune board game published by Gale Force 9. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about a custom component that I have made to enhance my Dune experience, and that is some Karama reference cards. And let me talk about what the Karama is, how it fits into the game, and why the reference cards are a good idea. The Karama card is a special card that you can get in the Treachery deck. So it's a Treachery card. There's two of them in the normal deck. This is the Richesse Karama card, which is part of their 10-card sort of market of special Treachery cards that they're selling. And the way they work is they're very versatile. They have a lot of different effects, especially if you're playing Advanced Dune. So in any game of Dune, you can use a Karama card to get guild rates for your shipping from off-planet. So that's half price, which would be you could ship 2 forces into a stronghold for 1 spice, or you can ship a force into a non-stronghold territory for 1 spice each. And that payment goes to the spice bank and not to the guild. So it's a little extra thumb in the eye to the guild if you use a Karama card for shipment. You can also use a Karama card to pay for a Treachery card that you want to get. So the bidding is like, all right, that's going to be 9 spice. And you can be like, well, I'm using the Karama card to get that. And you can preemptively just do it as people are bidding. It's not even your bid, and you can just say, I'm taking that card. And apparently you can also just use the Karama card to drive the bidding up, even if you have no intention of buying that card without having to play it, which was news to me, but that is apparently how it works out. And the updated Karama cards that came in the Choman Richesse expansion, there's this one, and then there's 2 replacement ones for your base game that add that little extra note so the players know that they can do that. So that's all well and good. The other main thing, though, which is what most of this text is that you can use Karama cards to cancel faction advantages. And that works on the in-game advantages. It specifically says any of your at-start advantages definitely can't be stopped with the Karama card. And that's going to be things like the Harkonnen's Trader advantage, where they've got the 4 traders and they can call up to 4 traders in a game. Karama doesn't cancel that. Same thing with the Tleilaxu Face Dancers. If they reveal a Face Dancer, that's too bad for you. There's nothing that's going to stop that from happening. But a lot of the other advantages in there. In addition, as if all of that weren't enough, the Karama card also lets each faction do what's called your Special Karama Advantage. It's like a special power that you can do once per game. And each faction's is different. They're all very powerful because they are only once per game, and you do need to have a Karama card to be able to trigger it. But the advanced Karama advantages are not on the faction sheets. They're in the rule book. So you have to, if you're like, oh, I wonder what my advantage is. Can I have the rule book? And I'm flipping around, and people are like, what's that all about? So they should have been on the faction sheets. Probably what is on the faction sheets are the alliance advantages. So if you ally with me, what do you get out of it? But that is also on the alliance cards. So because they were on the alliance cards, they probably didn't need to be on the faction sheets, and that space could have been used for the advanced Karama effect. But what are you going to do? Maybe if we have a deluxe edition of Dune come out, then we'll correct that. But in the meantime, what I've done is I have created these Karama reference cards. And so they've got on them, there's one for each of the factions, and on there on the top, it tells you what your special Karama power is, but it also tells you how your different advantages can be stopped with the Karama card, and whether or not they even can be stopped with it. And so it's all handily right there at the start of the game. You just give each faction their Karama card, and then they've got that reference, so they don't have to flip the rule book. And, I like to just pick mine up every once in a while and look at it when I've got a new Treachery card, and people are like, oh, does he have it? And I'm like, no, it's la, 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 but you don't know that. So, yeah, just to give you kind of an idea. So let's take a look at, this is the Ixian's Karama card. So right there, it tells you what the special effect is, where You may move the hidden mobile stronghold to territories on your turn during shipment and movement. This does not count as your normal movement action. A lot of people ask that. They're like, oh, I've got the Karama, I've moved the thing 2 times. Is that my movement action? And the answer is no. You can still ship and then move your forces, and you can play the Karama to then move the hidden mobile stronghold. You can also do the stronghold first before you do your shipment and movement, as long as it's in the shipment and movement phase. So that's your once per game effect. If you've got the Karama, do that. You can scoop up a ton of spice, and you're not scooping it up. You're just moving there and then collecting the spice and blah, blah, blah. So, but then it tells you, all right, you know, if I've got the Karama and I'm wondering how I can affect the Ixians with it, it kind of lists it down. And I've broken it up into, these are your basic advantages, and then there's a little gap, and then your advanced advantages. So it's all in order according to your sheet. So the bidding, you may not look at the treachery cards and suppress one. So that's their bidding advantage. Cyborg and suboid movement. Your movement is only 1 territory normally, and the normally means if you have ornithopters, you can move 3. But otherwise, the suboids and the cyborgs, if the cyborgs are in part of that movement, they can move 2 territories. But you can Karama them. Go, no, you're only moving 1. Suboids in battle, you cannot replace a cyborg with a suboid after the battle. So, and that's 1 battle. And the hidden mobile stronghold. You may not move the stronghold nor collect spice with it. So that's all of the basic advantages. And then down with the advanced ones, your technologies, you may not replace a treachery card. And the suboid strength is no effect, because the suboids, they always count half. You can't Karama that and then they're full strength. No, it's just they're always half. There's no effect on that. So it lets you know, all right, yeah, that's how the effect is. Here's one on the Spacing Guild. So their once per game special Karama effect, if they play the Karama card, is they can stop a faction from making an off-planet shipment. And that's pretty devastating sometimes. And then how does it work? So I got your basic advantages. Payment for 1 shipment goes to the spice bank. So somebody could be like, all right, I'm sending down 10 troops. Here's 10 spice. And you can say, not for the guild. 3 types of shipment. You may not ship your forces across the planet or to your reserves. Half price, you must pay full price for your shipment. You may reconsider your shipment action. So that's important to note as well. So the guild is like, yes, I'm dropping 18 forces down into Arakeen, and somebody says, well, I'm going to Karama you, so you're going to have to spend 18 spice if you want to do that. The guild can say, oh, all right, I'm not going to send that many forces, and I'm not going into Arakeen, so they can reconsider that. Same thing with the Fremen, you know, they can move the two territories. If you Karama them, they don't have to then just go halfway and go, we're stuck in the desert, we couldn't get into Tabor or whatever. And they can just say, I'm not going to do that movement at all now, I'll do something else. So they do have that, and it does explain that on the card. Lets you know the special victory condition, no effect, can't Karama that. And then ship and move when you wish. You must go in turn order, played when you attempt to change turn order. So if the guild tries to go before their turn, you can Karama them and say you have to wait. Or if they're trying to skip their turn, you would play it then and say, nope, you're taking your turn right now. And, you know, send your 18 forces down. So that's how that works. I've got all the factions in here. Tleilaxu, Trades, BG, you know, all of the current factions are more of these Karama cards coming. I can neither confirm nor deny, but for homebrew factions, I can make more of these so that I can play with whatever I want. So that is it. The art, the eye here is actually borrowed from the original Karama card from the 1979 Avalon Hill edition. So I thought it was a little Easter egg, a shout out to that one. And that's it. So let me know what kinds of custom components and other goodies you've made to enhance your Dune game experience. I've got some others which I will share in separate videos. Let me know what you think of the Karama cards. I've seen other people do this sort of thing, and I definitely think it's a great idea. This is how I wanted to implement it for myself, and I'm really happy with how these cards turned out. They look good. And they do enhance that experience for me when I play Dune. And I do like to play Dune, so it's always about blinging up my favorite games with whatever I can. So that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.